if you actually just earn a wage, we'll be lagging behind the property price increase. And that is obviously the root of a lot of our socio-economic problems. Now, 50,000 Hong Kong dollars per month household income, that already is sort of the top 20% of the population. Right? So the rest of the 80% of the household are earning less than 50,000 Hong Kong dollars per month or less. 80% of the household will probably cannot afford private houses in Hong Kong. So if you just look at the completion, the yellow bar, if we have 18,000 units as the target by the government themselves, we have been short the completion for the past 5 years. And in fact, we have been short completion for the past 10 years. And that is already better than the public housing. As you know, the public housing the government supplies 28, the government target is 28,000. Even in the best case scenario, for the next 5 years, we are about 30% short for public housing. No wonder we have social problems. Where does the housing come from? We need new land. But do we have new land? The most important message I want to share today is that we basically have stopped building new land in the past 10 years. If you look at from 1995 to 2004, we have built about 8,000 hectares of land through reclamations and building new towns. But since 2005 to 2014, we stopped, basically. We stopped. And the reason is because, well, it's the SARS, property housing prices drop a lot, so we are scared. Let's just stop building flats. But what the mistake what society has made was that, well, not only we stopped building flats, we decided to stop building land. Because in Singapore, they can stop selling flats, building new houses, but they have land reserve that continue to build up. We don't have that in Hong Kong because we stopped doing anything for the past 10 years. Now, in the 70s and the 80s, when I grew up in Hong Kong in the 70s, and we built about eight new towns. So Sha Tin, Tuen Mun, Tai Po, Yuen Long, Fan Ling, Shang Shui, all these are new towns. And if you look at all the new towns that we had, all of them are significantly, used as a reclaimed land. For example, Tseung Kwan O is the most classical example. And this is Tseung Kwan O. The Tseung Kwan O, if you've been to Tseung Kwan O, the three new MTR stations are all on reclaimed land. Hang Hau, Tseung Kwan O, Tiao Ging Land. All these three new MTR stations and all the public housing surrounding the MTR stations are on reclaimed land. So you're saying that you've done no new towns completion for 30 years. And some people said that, well, let's just talk about population. 1945, 500,000. 1951, we have 2 million people. 1970, which is where I was born, we have 4 million people. And almost every decade, we add 1 million people to Hong Kong. And as a result, all of the Hong Kong people, most of us, are either first generation or second generation or third generation immigrants. Because by definition, we were 500,000 people. So all of us are immigrants. Is the immigration pace too quick these days? So just looking at the demographic events, you need a lot of apartments to do that. It's not just about immigration. And if you look at our developed land versus our population growth, our population growth is not that high. It's actually one of the lowest in Asia, but still higher than our developed land. For the next 30 years, how many new towns do you think we need? In other words, how many new Sha Tins equivalent new towns do you think we need? One Sha Tin is 3,000 hectares. How many hectares of land we need in the next 30 years? Is that in these days in Hong Kong, people love talking about 1 hectare. They talk about a football court, which is 1 hectare. Talking about Guangzhou is about 20 hectares, 30 hectares. What I'm saying is that, well, we don't just need a couple hundred hectares. We need a couple thousand hectares. If you don't think about the big numbers, the 9,000 that we're proposing, you just think about that one area. We lack of a long-term, coherent debate about actually what is the big number that we're talking about here. And I think a lot of us just focus on the micro picture, which is important, but we're sidetracked to the bigger needs that we have.